All right, hello and welcome to MMT TV, and I'm here today with Dakota McLearn, and today we're going to be talking about PPC, affiliate marketing, and we're going to talk about your story because you have a pretty
Heck
interesting
yeah.
one. So,
Thank you. Yeah, it's been quite the adventure, I guess, over the last year.
so let's talk about the last year. Last year is when I met you. I met you
Yep.
probably about 18 or 20 months ago, something around there.
Hmm.
And at that point, you were broke,
Yep.
broke. And over the past year, you've gotten around some great people, you've gotten into affiliate marketing, and you've totally changed your whole life around and traveled the world at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. I was more than broke at that time. I was unemployed, broke, and really had no motive to go out there and actually do anything as far as money or income in my life because I didn't have any big visions or goals. But something that I really loved was traveling, and I remember actually talking to you about it at that event. It was something that I would really love to do. Travel the world and see different places. And just like you said, getting around certain people, I knew would be the quickest way, right? The quickest way to actually be able to learn a skill set that would allow me to live that lifestyle. So one of my good friends, Cameron George, who you actually know as well, he's a good friend of mine, and internet marketing and affiliate marketing, and just marketing in general, was something that he had been doing for about 2 years prior to when we met. And I seen him living a lifestyle that was free, you know what I mean, compared to what I was doing. So I was doing construction or just jumping from different retail jobs, whatever I could kind of get my hands on before they fired me again. But I seen he was living this lifestyle that he was kind of just bouncing around, different parts of Canada. He went to Thailand for a few weeks, and he would keep in touch with me roughly, and I would keep in touch back. And he ended up swinging by Edmonton, Alberta, where I'm originally from, and he's actually lived there for quite a few years, and we connected. And he brought to me the proposition basically of getting into business for myself. And at the beginning, that was network marketing, just like a lot of people's first sort of business venture was network marketing, right? So that was the first time I seen myself actually doing something, and I was actually opening myself up to the idea of learning a new skill set, um,
What
which
did you, what
obviously
did you, what did you learn from network marketing?
what did I learn from network marketing was honestly just the opportunity that it could bring to someone. You know what I mean? With the opportunity that you can actually do something for yourself, that it's completely based off your own performance. So honestly, what I learned the biggest thing from it was working with people is a big thing, and actually, having that desire to meet more people. But the biggest thing was honestly knowing what could be possible and seeing these other people in business achieve a lifestyle that was honestly just sounded great.
Yeah, okay. So then from there, you got into affiliate marketing. So how did you go from having no lifestyle, getting around Cameron, and then achieving the lifestyle that you have now? You're living in Colombia.
Yeah, well, that was quite the process, and yeah, that's right. I'm living in Colombia now, and it's beautiful here. But anyway, that transition was I kind of had to go through all the steps. And when someone enters something like network marketing, there's certain things that someone needs to get good at. For example, meeting a ton of people and talking to a bunch of people. So I honestly went through the system as someone should, and I did everything that they told me. I called every single person I knew. I met new people, and I basically did everything that they told me to do. Which at that point I seen what they defined as this kid's doing good in this company, but it wasn't at all what I defined success because $350 per month residually is not gonna fly me across the world and have me living in the places that I was looking at living. So after doing all the things and actually after finding what they called success, it was not at all what I defined as success. And it honestly, the time freedom wasn't what it was supposed to be. And I started looking around me, and I started seeing all these people that I looked up to that had the incomes that I was looking at, that had the lifestyle that I thought I wanted, and realized pretty quickly that none of them were actually able to go anywhere for long periods of time, and that they were kind of built themselves in a position of almost like a managerial job. You know what I mean? Like calling people all the time and just managing a big group of people.
You're
So
always bringing new people in.
exactly, yeah. It's
Because,
always there's like, go ahead.
because I know a lot of people who are very successful in network marketing.
Hmm.
However, there is this constant process, and if you love it, you can do it. But if you're someone like
Yeah.
me, I wouldn't be able to because I can't. I have to set it and forget it, almost.
Exactly. Yeah. Like if you're like me, I just want to go. I might want to leave for 2 months. You know what I mean, and be just gone and not pick up the phone or just miss a bunch of appointments or something. So that lifestyle was not for me. And I started making the transition to being open to it, first of all, when Cameron started talking about it, because I was ready to find a bigger form of leverage where I could actually speak to more people. That's how I looked at it at first. I was like, well, if I go on the internet, then I can, do what I'm doing right now by calling people, but I can do it more. You know what I mean? I can talk to more people on the internet. So I seen it as a way as I could prospect more people, which obviously really quickly I kind of found out that that's not what it was. It was more a form of leverage and actually eventually having people just kind of come to me to see what I was doing, which was the opposite of what I was used to.
Okay. So at that point, were you doing webinars? What were you doing?
When I started getting onto the online space,
That's right.
my first form of marketing actually was doing pay-per-click marketing. So being brand new, not knowing absolutely anything, I decided to get onto Facebook pay-per-click. Cameron was like, it's an easy strategy. I actually have a course that you can go through, and let's have you dive into that. And the way he brought it to me was the fact that there's so many different ways to market, and obviously, Shaun, you understand there's thousands of different ways to market online. Never mind offline as well. So it's so easy for someone to come into the online space and go, I'm going to go do this, and this, and I'm going to market all these hundreds of ways, and I'm going to succeed that way. Well, the truth is I was actually shown in a way, learn just this one skill, right? And Cameron brought it to me. He's like, go learn PPC, and don't just learn it and move on to something else, but master it. So it was something that I kept doing, and at the beginning I found a little bit of results, and then I had results to speak about. So I started marketing those results. And again, as I kept going through PPC, it actually eventually became something that I was very knowledgeable and competent in, and actually able to show this information to other people as well, right? To actually educate them on what I was doing and how I was generating these results.
Okay. So that brings you kind of to today where you've been doing PPC. Is that your main strategy today?
PPC is my main form of marketing strategy, yes. But the way I love to explain it to people is I use PPC in a way to build myself up a story, because I had no experience online. When you knew me, I was broke, I was unemployed. But I used PPC as basically a form of marketing to build myself up the story. When let's say I made, I think, like $2,500 at my first month in doing affiliate marketing. And I was like, I'm going to talk about this story where now I can actually do what I love, which is content marketing, making fun videos, and just doing fun things. But now I can integrate this success that I've been having. So, that little bit of success that I found in PPC actually brought a lot of success to me, because it was something I was able to talk about for a long time, right? And actually help a lot of people make that shift in their mind that this is something that they can do as well, because there's this 19-year-old kid from Edmonton who knew nothing that all of a sudden 4 months later he's living in Thailand, right? So that's honestly where the two things that I do, and it's honestly pretty much the only two things that I do is as far as marketing, I do PPC, that's where my money goes. But then with those results, I just love to talk with them. I love to make fun videos and just have fun doing it.
Sure. So let's get into some of the PPC. So you were doing PPC, that took you to Thailand, where you were obviously on this reality show.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened in Thailand, or sorry, what happened with PPC? What's your strategy?
Okay, well, what my main strategy with PPC is I speak to the main group of people that I could relate to, which was, obviously, I came from network marketing, where I absolutely hated cold calling people. I hated doing the home parties. I hated the awkward moments at the end of the video when you got to ask your friends, like, so are you in or what? I hated all that. And I know that a lot of the people that were involved in the same company, I was hated that as well. So when I started doing PPC, I could speak to an audience of people that were probably doing cold calls, that were doing those awkward moments, and I could bridge that gap and showing them that, hey, listen, I used to do the exact same thing. But you don't actually have to do that. You can actually be on the internet where people come to you, right? So when I let's say I actually engaged with someone on the internet, someone reached out to me, they went through my PPC funnel, they clicked one of my ads, and they sent me an email. They go, Dakota, what is the biggest difference? And I go, well, the difference is obviously that you just emailed me, you reached out to me. I never called you, I never did anything, but I had marketing in place that did that for me, right? So that's basically my biggest thing here with PPC. But again, it's just such a skill that can do so much for you, and it can get to the point where now I can actually help a group of people, and I can run their PPC for them, and that can be a huge service that I can now provide for a community of people. So, learning a skill like that is now kind of opened more doors for myself to not only do it for myself, but to do it for others, right? As a win-win situation.
Okay, so let's talk about the specifics of PPC. So I guess cost per click, let's start there.
Okay.
And then how do you
Okay.
find your target market? How do you market to them? What's the sales funnel or the process from
Okay.
idea to
Well,
money?
Okay, well, the main thing that I use is actually targeting, like I said, network marketing companies. So knowing that, I speak to that group of people, talking about some of the things that they may be struggling with, or some of the things that I can actually help them with. So as far as when I get down in specifics, I like to obviously try and get the lowest cost per click. I obviously try and
Okay.
spend the least amount of money to acquire a customer in my business. So knowing that you want to spend the least amount of money to acquire a customer in your business, well, the first thing I have to know how much a customer is even worth to me, because I don't want to be going out there spending $300 if I know a customer is actually only worth $125. So actually diving into those metrics, and for me, I know that one single customer in the affiliate product that I'm promoting is worth $750. So that's the first thing I had to establish. Okay, this is how much one customer can be worth. So knowing that, I can go out and I can spend up to that. I'm not probably, there's no way in heck that I'm going to spend that much to acquire one customer, but knowing that, that's my safe ground. Okay, I have around $700 to go out there and acquire one person. So I'll go out and I'll target different network marketing companies and again, speak to those different things that I can help them with or speak to some of their troubles. And then as far as cost goes, the area that once you find a company that's working, once you know how to work with Facebook, because there's certain things with Facebook that I guess I can kind of get into here that they run a bit differently. When you have a lot of people that click your ad and you have a lot of people that actually go onto the other side of the ad, Facebook rewards that and you actually pay less per click. So knowing that if you put a quality ad out, you'll actually pay less, meaning you always want to make sure you have the most quality ads out. You'll be paying a lot less. So on the low end, the cheap end of things, you can pay anywhere from 10 to 20 cents per click. Which is, you can get lower than that, but that's some pretty advanced stuff to get into. But an average person could come online and within the second week get an understanding of what they're doing and actually be able to go up there and get 10 to 20 cent clicks. Someone who really doesn't know what's going on or an average cost, you'll probably pay between 40 to 60, maybe even 80 cents a click. But again, that could be relevant depending on how much this customer is worth to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So, and I guess to dive into the actual funnels that I will place these people actually go through, I just bridge that gap between them understanding what they're doing right now in order to acquire a customer in their business and what exactly they can be doing and how they can be leveraging the internet, just like I have done or just like these countless other people have done as well.
Okay. So what is the sales funnel then?
Okay, so the sales funnel that I actually walk them through is I have them go right onto a capture page where I explain to them, for example, an ad copy I use is discover how you can recruit automatically without ever having to pick up the phone again. So I know at that point I hit on cold calling, which absolutely sucks. And don't mind Claudia's in the background. She's cleaning our house here today, so she's just going through the room as me and you are on this call. So anyway, I'll have them go to a landing page right from the ad on Facebook, which at that point I'll bridge that gap in understanding why they should enter their email, which is actually I'm going to show them a video that reveals how they can actually generate customers automatically in their business, for example. So they put their email in, I capture their email, and that's something that I follow up with after, and that's another way to convert more sales. Obviously, is with the follow up on the back end. But then that video goes right to the sales video, which is bridging that gap fully and understanding what affiliate marketing is, what internet marketing is, and why it can actually benefit them in moving from this offline world that they're in their existing company to now moving onto the online space, either to promote their existing company or to get into affiliate marketing and just pick up an offer and promote it. So that's the exact funnel that I use mainly, is just sort of the home-based business network marketing funnel, bridging that gap in order to come online basically. But I actually have some plans to kind of get into some traveling funnels, get into some different sort of funnels that I think will be a little bit more fun and easy for us to speak to, again, because we did something like the reality show and because me and my friends travel around and it's easy for me to speak to that audience.
To speak about traveling then.
Yeah, exactly.
Travelers. How does the show
Yep.
help you? How did you even film the show? How did you turn this into a
Okay.
business?
Okay, well, the show was really interesting concept. During the month of May, we actually had 32 people come out to Thailand to experience what was our lifestyle. We ended up staying in two separate villas that were side by side, 11 bedrooms, just huge mansion out in Thailand. And we brought it as an idea to, again, bridge that gap to all these different people around the world that have these visions and have these dreams, or as I like to say, they have what they've defined as their other way of life. Right? What the show was called was Project AWOL. It was a bunch of people that were projects in order to live their other way life and showing people how to live their other way life. We had people that were on the show. There was a guy who was a dancer for So You Think You Can Dance Canada or something like that. There was a helicopter pilot. There was a lady who honestly just wanted to take care of her mother. There was every sort of different walk of life that you could think of, any age group from 18-year-old to, in their late 60s, all working towards a common goal of achieving their definition of success, right? Because at the end of the day, people look at what we're doing. They don't care what we're doing or how we're doing it, but they care why. My parents care why I'm doing what I'm doing and the lifestyle I'm trying to achieve. So we put this show together as a 4-series, 5 episodes per series, to portray to people who are watching the show and get an understanding that, hey, look, affiliate marketing, internet marketing, or maybe just running your own business in general could be the easiest way to lead me to this lifestyle. Maybe I don't want to be a dancer like Jonathan Romain, who was the guy on the show, but maybe I actually want to take care of my family, just like so and so does, right? So for me, to be able to market a show like that is very powerful, because I can now speak about the why. I can speak about why it is that I'm doing it, why it is that they might want to do it as well, because they can relate to either myself on the show, or maybe they relate to 65-year-old so and so who's a carpenter. Right, so for me to be able to go out and market this show, I know I can speak to an audience that has never seen the internet marketing space before. They've never seen the home-based business industry. They can be brand new. They can be someone who's literally just likes to travel. They can watch the show. They get an understanding that, wow, there's something out there that I can actually market online. Okay, and this is a skill that I can actually go out there to live my lifestyle. Right, because I don't know about you, but I've met a lot of different people that love to travel around the world, but when they love to travel, they probably go work for 4 months straight, and then they travel for 2, or they travel for 1, right? So for me to be able to speak to that audience going, hey, look, you can actually travel all year round. You can be a permanent traveler. You just have to educate yourself in this one area. You just have to educate yourself on how to be able to generate an income online.
So you have to master the skill, as Cameron said in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Exactly.
And so now you have a whole bunch of new audiences that you can actually tap into, because more people are going to relate to, XYZ other person.
Exactly. There's only a small amount of people in the world that care about $5,000 a month. But I can tell you a whole lot more people in the world probably care about being with their family more. They probably care about fulfilling their dreams, but it's not everyone that's interested about just money, right? So this gives us the opportunity to go out there and speak to a huge audience that has never been spoken to before, because all everyone is screaming about is make $10,000 a month, make $5,000 a month, which is great, but only a certain amount of people, like that message.
Yeah, and what does that mean? I mean, some people see that message, they're already making $10,000 a month in their job.
Yeah. Yeah, so, exactly. It's what does that money bring you? And it's the lifestyle again. So the show that we did is just a perfect. We went out one day. We went out on a catamaran. We were out on the Andaman Sea all day. We went to a charity orphanage and actually painted the school, hung out with kids. So we did everything as far as actually. And it's funny. We based the actual show off of where me and you met. Do you remember the MMI, the 5-jar system?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So each day on the show, so like I said, there's 4 different seasons of 5 episodes. So day 1 is actually your necessity jar. Day 2 would be your education jar, where we show people how to educate themselves in something like internet marketing, where to spend their money as far as their education goes. Day 3 would be something which we call, instead of FFA, we labeled it as your business jar, right? So instead of your financial freedom account, it would be your business, and then you got your give, and then you got your play. So for each different day on the show, we did one of those things, whether it was give, play, business. So that was a really cool theme to the show, again, bridging that gap to someone who knows nothing about business or managing money or anything, to getting an understanding and kind of seeing the inside, or kind of seeing the way we spend our money.
And now you get to use all the human needs. So you're meeting everyone's human needs as you go along, too.
Yeah, exactly.
If you miss one of those, you're going to destroy another area. You can't miss
anything. Yeah, exactly. You can't leave out the give day, right? There's no way you can leave out the give day, and there's no way you can leave out the play day, right? It's the needs of life, and it's a really good way to base your finances. I don't know about you, but since we met at that conference, that's changed the way I look at spending money and managing my money. Every bit of money that comes into me, I divide into each jar, and I actually use the jar system that we taught people that month. So I like to say, even some like my parents who don't care about entrepreneurship or anything, they should at least be managing their money in a smart way, in the 5-jar system, or however they want to do it. It doesn't matter how they label it, but managing their money is at least what you want to be doing if you're not going to be into entrepreneurship or something.
That's right. And I've seen it over and over and over where you're you're um, you're heavy loaded into one area, let's say work, and you're always working, work, 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 work. But then you get tired of it, and I've done this myself. You get extremely tired of it, and then you go to the extreme opposite where you're spending all your
Hmm.
money on play, and you're in instant gratification.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's just having a balance all the time of all those things because I wouldn't be able to give as much as I do if I didn't do it on a consistent amount all the time. If I just gave all the money I had and then never gave again for the rest of the year, it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't equal out, you know. So I just find it's a very important thing that people base all their finances around is at least managing and knowing what's going in, what's going out, and where to allocate everything.
Okay. So where did you guys come up with the concept for this show?
Well, we came up with a concept. That's a very good question, actually. Cameron and Glenn were the two guys that I was living out in Thailand with, and Cameron, he's been online for a very long time, as I explained before, and Glenn was actually been online for a little bit longer. So both these guys were very experienced marketers. For me to be out there and live with these two guys was huge for me. It was transformational. They were dropping things in the elevator. They were saying things out to eat at the restaurants that were literally business and life changing things. Statements that they took for granted that are to them is just common knowledge, but to someone who is brand new in business is could change everything. So I
What?
just remember saying, go ahead.
Oh, what are some of those messages?
Um, it could be just really simple things that very very small things. You know what I mean? That honestly you don't even base a webinar around, but it's just little minute details about their business or about the way you look at the people that come into your business. You know what I mean? And not just being in a lot of money. It's not just being money coming in, but it's an actual opportunity to help someone. So like these little bites and things, it's just the perspectives and the way they look at things. So I told them, I'm like, guys, this is amazing for me to be out here and receive this kind of stuff. Do you know what this would do for other people that were out here? And something that Glenn had actually already been talking about for about a year and a half before we connected was doing a reality television show about the internet marketing space, about marketing online. So that's when we kind of started melting those ideas together, having people out and being able to experience life-changing information and being able to come and experience a lifestyle and bridging it to something like a reality show to not show only the people that came out that month, but to show anyone who watches the actual show. And that's when we actually started getting into the details of using something like the 5 jar system to show everyone watching the show that this is the way we spend our money. And then diving into more specifics on, like, say, the education day. This is where we get our education. You know what I mean? You can go educate yourself on the same things. Or this is where we spend our business day, or where we give. You know what I mean? So that's where the show concept actually started, was kind of just an idea over several lunches in Thailand.
Yeah, and then it came from that. So
Yeah.
what was one of your favorite, like what's a magic moment that you took from the show, from doing the show?
Wow. The people that I watched transform. People were literally out there, and they shifted huge. There was a lady out there, for example. Her name's Brandy. And she was out on the show, and this was a single mother who had depended on welfare her whole life and living in the States. So she'd always been on government assistance, and she came out to the show. And let me tell you, she is so faithful in everything she does, and she was just so ready to make anything happen in her life and in her business, and she just threw all the garbage to the side and was just ready to focus. She went home and actually never done anything in her life and goes home and just makes like $5,000 within the second week that she was back, and is now this is established herself as a leader, as someone that can now very very positively affect other people, right? And very confidently step up as a leader. So just to see people like Brandy come out and during the month of May and just transform as a person when she comes back, that to me was a huge magical moment. But as far as being on the show, when we got to hang out with those kids in the orphanage, that for me was honestly was like a definition of success. To me, that was like, wow, here I am. I'm helping these kids. I'm in a different country, and I'm affecting someone else in such a positive way, whereas just a year ago, I could barely, support myself.
Yeah, you weren't
So
even surviving properly.
yeah, seriously, I was so unhealthily skinny.
All right, so
But
hmm? Oh, continue.
oh no, and for me those were the biggest moments where we're just seeing these people transform, seeing them make the shift in themselves. Because it's like that same shift happened in me, and it was cool to watch someone else do it.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't we talk about that shift that happened in you? There was a shift that occurred even before you were doing this affiliate marketing.
Hmm.
And there, I remember this video. I watched a video of you. You were coming back from some network marketing event, and then a couple months
Yeah.
later, you quit your job or whatever. You didn't have a job again.
Yeah, yeah, that was unbelievable shift. And honestly, it was this. It sounds simple, but it was me understanding that it was actually possible and that I was going to do it. And for me, it just took to meet these people that were doing it. And the event that I was coming back from was the very first internet marketing event that I ever gone to. The very first time I actually met people making money online. And that's all it took for me to meet this guy, and this guy who were both very, very average people who were making very unaverage amounts of money on the internet. I lost it. I was like, oh my God. I was like, these guys don't know anything special. You know what I mean? They just made it happen. And very recently they made it happen, and so quickly. So I was driving home, and I asked Cameron, he was in the car with me. I was like, Cam, you know, if I made $1,000 a month, could I live overseas somewhere? And he's like, yeah, you could live in a third world country, no problem. You could live in Thailand, you know what I mean? You could live somewhere. It's unbelievable how cheap the rest of the world is compared to North America. And yeah, you could do it for $1,000. And then I cross-examined how many sales I would need to make in the affiliate marketing product I was promoting, and it was like under 10 sales, and I could be fine for the rest of my life in Thailand, and I lost it. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I am literally going to be there before my birthday, which was 2 months away from the time I shot the video. And I lost it. I was so confident because I felt like I was already there. I knew there was no other reality other than me being there. It was an unbelievable feeling. I never felt anything like it. I felt just huge. I felt light. I felt it was amazing. And I completely shifted. And I went back home and I made it happen. 55 days after I shot that video, I was living in Thailand on the beaches of Kamala. So it was a huge shift, and it was something as simple as just knowing that it was possible and people were doing it, and that it was my turn. It was that simple.
Yeah. What went through your head before that? Before you met the people who were actually making the money, what was going through your head?
What was going through my head was that I needed to indulge into the matrix, program computers. I was like, this is going to be so complicated. I was like, everything on the internet, you know, I didn't know how to make a website or even buy a domain. I didn't know GoDaddy was to buy domains. I thought everything on the internet was the most complicated, robust thing you've ever heard of. So before going to the show, I was expecting to like be taking university notes and like writing code and like all this crazy stuff. But I realized really quickly that they don't do any of that stuff. Most of that stuff is outsourced. Most of that stuff is dealt to people who know how to do that stuff. The biggest part about it is just yourself, and that's really exciting because if I know I just have to improve myself and I have to work on myself and obviously take action on all the stuff that I'm learning, that's exciting. I don't have to write code. I don't have to be born with a certain talent, but I just have to work on myself and decide to learn that knowledge, you know?
Okay. And in the 2 minutes that we have remaining here, let's talk about what
Hmm.
you learned quickly, and then um, let's go to one of your sales pages and use that as an example. And then if there's anyone in network marketing who wants to get into what you're doing, then we can certainly hook them
Okay.
up there.
Cool, for sure. Yeah, I'll grab a link here just at the end. But very simply, I decided to educate myself on how to learn the skill of affiliate marketing. Basically, take any offer, whether that's selling socks at Walmart, right, or a book at Amazon.com, or whether it's taking an info-based product that I can resell for 100% commissions. I just decided to learn that knowledge in marketing, whether it's PPC, whether it's any form of marketing, it doesn't matter. But I decided that so I can earn money around the world, so I can live in places like Medellin, Colombia, where I am right now, so I can travel to Thailand, so I can go see my family maybe at the end of the month and still make money no matter where I am. So at the end of the day, to break it down in the simplest forms, I went to a college of affiliate marketing on the internet, which means that basically I bought a bunch of info products and I taught myself and got around the right group of people to learn the skill set of affiliate marketing.
Okay, good. And so where can people go to find out more about what it is that you're doing and get an example of what the sales funnel actually looks like?
Okay, they can go to dakotamclaren.com. That's my website. That will be at full functioning here. It's honestly, again, remember I told you I was scared of programming computers and writing code and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I logged into dakotamclaren.com the other day to make a landing page and install this theme, and I completely screwed up my whole website. So the whole thing just it's doesn't even exist right now, but it will in the next few days. So that just goes to show I don't even know how to make a website or do anything with my website, but I can, very confidently earn money online. So dakotamclaren.com is where all my information is as far as me personally. But just, I guess, a quick little example of a funnel that someone could go through. Let me just pull up a quick landing page here for you. Would you like me to give you the domain of a landing
Sure,
page?
sure. Let's
Okay,
go.
cool. It would be learn. Here, can I put it in the Skype chat, or do you want me to
Sure.
just say it here?
Say it, and put it in Skype, and then we'll link it
Okay.
up at the end.
So it's www.learn2, like the number two, earn. Oh, 1 second. Hold on, a video's playing on me. So it's www.learn2earn.com/life-design. Sorry, life by design. Let me put it in the chat here because I absolutely butchered that.
Sure. So we'll just put it in the show notes below,
Yeah.
and that way you just
Yes.
click on it.
Yeah, and that's a very, very easy example of something that you can throw together quite quickly when you're knowledgeable about, putting together a little funnel for a home-based business or something like that.
Yeah, and that's going to be really useful. I mean, it applies through every single business out there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It does.
So
For sure.
thanks. It's good talking to you because I haven't spoken to you in a few months here, and
Yeah, it's been a while.
so
Thanks for having me out, Shaun.
yeah, it's been great having you on, and we'll talk again. We'll talk soon, and it's great having you on. Have a
Definitely,
great
man.
day,
Awesome.
Dakota.
Thanks again. Later, man.